My fellow Jamaicans, the cohort of Jamaicans that returned yesterday from the United States and Canada under the controlled re-entry program has been encountering a number of difficulties at their quarantine location. These difficulties relate primarily to delays in the admission process at the quarantine facility and the lack of timely provision of meals. First of all, I must unreservedly apologize to every returning citizen who has had to endure less than favorable conditions. The issues encountered are completely unacceptable. I asked Minister Christopher Tufton and Minister Matthew Samuda to visit the quarantine facilities today to get a first-hand view of the situation. Arising from the visits, the government has already taken some remedial actions, and we will do everything we can to completely rectify the situation. A preliminary assessment has revealed that the situation arose from capacity issues and unforeseen circumstances such as weather and a power outage. This against a background of heightened panic and stigma. We have made much progress on several aspects of the controlled re-entry program. The application and approval process is fully managed online through the JAM COVID-19 platform, either on the website or via the iOS or Android app. We have streamlined the process at the airport, with the processing time cut by half compared to the previous cohort that arrived on Wednesday last week. Many persons, spanning several ministries and agencies, have worked tirelessly to get our citizens home. It is extremely unfortunate that this situation has dampened the happiness that our citizens would have had upon returning home to Jamaica. The government is very sympathetic to the plight of overseas Jamaicans who wish to return home, many of whom are under severe hardship. As a result, the government has gone above and beyond to facilitate the return of our Jamaicans. This has stretched the capacity of our public health system and our frontline workers. The reality is that we now have over 600 persons in quarantine and isolation facilities to manage. We also have 4 quarantine areas in St. Mary and many other active contact tracing exercises ongoing. This while conducting all the other public health duties. While we are working assiduously to bring home our citizens, it is clear we cannot continue to overextend ourselves, as this increases the risk both to the general public health and our returning Jamaican citizens. We have to work within our capacity while we seek to build additional capacity. We are now beyond our quarantine capacity. It will therefore be at least 14 days before we are able to accommodate any sizable additional cohort. I have directed the ministries and agencies involved to use this period to explore ways of rapidly scaling up our capacity, both in accommodations and logistics, to ensure a positive experience for all. Over 8,000 Jamaicans have already applied to return home through the JAM COVID-19 system. To accommodate this number, utilizing state quarantine would mean an inordinate delay in their return. The government is already working towards the development of a home quarantine solution, incorporating technology that will facilitate the geofencing and monitoring of persons re-entering Jamaica to ensure that they stay in their designated quarantine area. We continue to manage this process in a manner that keeps all Jamaicans safe. We again thank you for your patience and understanding, and I wish to assure Jamaicans overseas who wish to return home that your government is working assiduously to get you back home as soon as possible. And again, for those Jamaicans in quarantine, we know it is a difficult time. We know it is a psychologically stressful time. We will therefore redouble our efforts to ensure that you have a satisfactory experience as you transition safely from quarantine to your homes.